You hear the AI is going to take over a lot of roles. We're not really seeing that yet. It'll probably trickle down once you get to some of the down to the ground floor type of positions and some more robotics coming in. But as far as the key people like business development manager, always looking for someone that has an edge in the market, knows contacts, and can, roll those out quickly.
Welcome to the Growth Experts podcast. Today I have a very special guest. His name is Rick, and he is the CEO and founder of the talent search group.ai. How you doing, Rick?
Good. How you doing there?
I'm good. So I'm very excited to have you on the show today. I wanted to dive into your background a little bit. Can you share a bit about your role and how it fits into the bigger picture?
Yeah, I've been in this about 30 years. I've had staffing companies, the traditional supplemental staffing companies. Always was specialized in a vertical, whether it be banking, finance. I got out of that after I had a couple companies. I sold them and got into just doing executive search. I have a couple recruiters that work for me. I focus mainly on manufacturing and engineering. And I got into this probably about 10 years ago, migrating to the just specifically search work.
Okay, specifically search work, and you started 10 years ago. So how's the business been doing? Is it growing? Are you expanding? Are you meeting any challenges or overcoming any challenges?
The challenges run from the final, I guess, through Thanksgiving to about mid-month of January. It's shaky on the hiring focus. People are in and out. You can't really get calendars measured up and squared away to have any meaningful interviews happening. But it's starting to pick up now. Manufacturing is, one of the largest areas of GDP, and we have covered the United States. We focus in on aerospace, defense, semiconductor. So those are starting to pick up a bit.
Okay, good. What does a typical day look like for you?
I work a lot on the East Coast, and I'm in here in California. So I'm up early. I usually go get some coffee and start tracking my emails from early in the morning, trying to sync up with the East Coast. Go through most of the day with a lot of responses coming from the early morning. I have questions answered, or I have questions I need to ask to get people scheduled and get them on the same time frame I am as far as interview schedules. So that's pretty much the mornings. Afternoons, because I do a lot on the East Coast focus right now, usually they're shutting down about 2:00 our time, Pacific time. So I'm usually got to catch them at night and wait for their responses in the morning.
And when you say interviews, are you conducting these interviews for yourself in regards to placements, new recruits?
Yeah, I do the interview myself. A lot of times I have to reach people based on the levels. Like I'm working on a general manager position. They're busy during the day, so I have to catch them after hours, even weekends, just to coordinate a good time they can get away and have full focus on the interview. And we're speaking of, I do all the interviews myself, and I want to make sure that I'm the last one to speak to them. I have recruiters that work for me and feed me some candidates. I go through them, make sure that they fit the criteria of the client, and to make sure that they are interested in looking at something new.
Awesome. What major shifts are you currently seeing right now in your industry?
There was been in the industry especially in the defense industry, we're starting to get busy because all the chaos seems to be going around in the world. They're anticipating some influxes of business to the upside, and we will be trying to manage and assist them with those positions. There's a lot of growth, but it's really specific growth. It's not like teams of people that try to bring in. It's more like a rifle shot as opposed to a shotgun approach. So, getting the key people in so they can then position it afterwards, bring in other support staff to support the key people.
Yeah. So in regards to all the conflict that's going on in the world that you kind of mentioned, is this disruptions, how has it impacted your business?
Yeah, I'm getting through it. There's a lot of stop and starts. One of my clients is they manufacture tactical vehicles, and so they'll get a contract and they'll slow down, speed up. So while they're slowing down and speeding up, there's kind of a time gap and delay in that. But the activity, as far as the long-term business model, is it's on the upside, and will continue to be on the upside, especially if things continue in the macro environment like it is.
Yeah, definitely. Um, there's a lot of expansion, the decrease of, things that are kind of going on that may be hurting certain businesses. But there's a lot of expansion on top of that as well.
Yeah, you hear the AI is going to take over a lot of the roles. We're not really seeing that yet. It'll probably trickle down once you get to some of the down to the ground floor type of positions and some more robotics coming in. But as far as the key people like business development manager, always looking for someone that has an edge in the market, knows contacts, and can roll those out quickly.
Yeah, definitely. So what metrics are you currently focusing on right now? What's working? What's not working? Is there anything frustrating you in the business?
Um, and I have one client now that has they spent a lot of money, a consultant, to create a culture index. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but it's like a 10-minute survey, and they try to make all these people fit in the box. The challenge is I have a lot of qualified people that I'm submitting to them, but they can't get past the survey. So it's like, okay, I'd send 10 people here. And normally I would send 3 and, have, those interviewed and one of those hired. So that's one of the areas that we have a little bit of a challenge in. It's good and it's bad. It's good they get the person they want to fit their criteria and their metrics. But as far as our metrics, it's more work for us to do to get up to, that fine tuning of the right person for them to speak with.
Mhm. Yeah. How are you identifying new clients, or do you just have a retention base of clients that you work with now retained, or?
Yeah, I've got, you know, several clients, maybe at 10 I can work and manage myself. I don't want to spread myself too thin because then I lose focus and they don't get the attention they need. So they'll come in and out. One might be every quarter utilizing us. One might be I need a few hires, so I have to shift and clear my desk and get my recruiting team to kind of help focus on those specific needs. Because if they're hiring a number of people, then they want to do it fast. By the time they reach us, it's usually at a point where we need to hire somebody now. We've exhausted our own resources and network, and we need to get some other eyes on this, look at some other places to bring these candidates in to fill all the needs they have.
Yeah, definitely. So, Rick, where do you want to be 6 or 12 months from now? Where do you see the business heading?
Yeah, I want to add some more recruiters, more business development, and then disseminate some of the client relations so I can do 3 times what I'm doing now. I think we can get there in tranches of to every 2 months we can kind of build a new client or two to help us. It gets too much for me to handle. I want somebody that I can bring up to speed to kind of do things the way I do them. And, as a company, presents itself to be experts in this area. So, but you don't want to do anything to growth at the risk of losing quality and losing the attention that these clients need.
Yeah, definitely. So you mentioned that one of your goals is to expand on recruiters, hiring more recruiters, I believe you said, and expanding your business development outreach so that you can, obviously scale up. Is there a specific number of recruiters you're looking at right now?
I bet yeah, I'd like to have 2 more can kind of do what I'm doing, and then have maybe 200 or 300 each one of those, just to keep the activity level going, and just to try.
Full stack, right? We want them to be full stack, have that business development background.
Yeah, I mean, it's this development a lot from the inside is retaining your clients and making sure you don't get one and they fall off the back of the truck on the way out. Yeah, you want to make sure that the work you're doing to get them, that you can retain them. So it's a balancing act, but it's one that we can, we can do and have done before. But that's what we're looking to do 6 to 8 months down the road.
6 to 8 months down the road. Okay. And can you expand on that a bit? Is it once you have, your full team in place 6 to 8 months from now, where do you see yourself from that fiscal, date or year of going into 2027 from 2026? In terms of revenue, is there a certain number you're trying to hit?
We want to hit about, try and get 3 or 4 placements a month, which are they're usually roughly about 25,000 per placement. If we can get a consistent, maybe 3 one month and 5 the next month, or 2 one month and 4 the next month, kind of keep a baseline of at least conservatively at least 2 placements a month, which would be like say 50,000, and then just add on top of that. If we can scale more if we have that baseline in place, consistently hitting it. So that's kind of where I want to see it going, and that way, the internal staff doesn't burn themselves out. Yeah, it doesn't cause fluctuations, which can happen in this industry. You'll get to the final stages of an interview and they'll say, "Oh, we had a change in management." Everybody's all hot to go and they stop. So we want to make sure that we can prepare for those stop gaps in those situations, black swans, if you prefer to happen. So.
And in regards to your background and tenure in this industry, what knowledge or information could you share that maybe some recruiters that are just starting out, or maybe there's a new talent search, group that's out there somewhere, new startup, what advice would you give to them?
It goes back to when I first started. It's still, we used to have to go in and call in a company and find out who was doing that job for recruiter. Now you have so many platforms you can utilize, LinkedIn, Monster, some other ones to get that talent that is passive, and just it's harder to back them than it is. So I think the best advice would be to utilize some tools that are they're there, try them out, see which one works best for you and your working style, and then ramp that up from that standpoint. We still have to make sure you have good relationships. Another thing is getting referrals from candidates you speak with. If it's not right for them, they can refer somebody. We have a program where we give referral bonuses if we get somebody from a candidate and we're able to place them. We pay them a referral bonus, which is good. It keeps them motivated instead of being disappointed they didn't work the ones specifically perfect for that position. But hey, I know a buddy that can do this, and a colleague that can do this job, and I'll refer them to you. So you keep them active. You try to keep your whole network in a referral mindset, so they always thinking like, who's the recruiter to go to, and building that kind of reputation with all your connections, especially connections on LinkedIn. Keeping it active, keep the information flowing, postings, ideas, just keeping out there.
Awesome. And in regards to manufacturing, what is a specific target discipline that you prefer to work with, or is there other disciplines that you're looking to go after in the manufacturing industry regarding your niche, or a subset of that?
Yeah, I used to do a lot in semiconductor until the chips bill came out, which then really had an impact on the semiconductor manufacturing. Now you a lot of fabs opening up, especially in the Arizona area, some of the Texas, that'll be, building up again. But that was something that had a very high traffic rate and went to nothing almost overnight. So staying away from niches like that is probably a good idea. Or if you have them, have other ones to offset it, like food, beverage, medical device, automotive. All those are constants. So stay involved with those. You get too far out on a limb and don't have something to kind of hedge, then you find yourself, falling that pit with the industry.
Yeah. And I think you mentioned manufacturing on the military side. Do you have clients in military or government?
Yeah, I've got clients that sell to directly to the military, Department of War. Also sell their products to other countries, like the Pacific Rim, of course, Middle East, Europe. So they have their products are, desired by these other countries too, whether it be a tactical vehicle or aerospace components, or just pieces of them, not a fully assembled units. Maybe they just need a part that you specialize in. So it's very active. So it's a good mix in business. I'd say companies that work with military, half their business is dedicated to the military, and half in commercial.
Awesome. Wow. That's pretty cool that you're able to, procure those types of clients and, they provide services all over the world. That's really cool. So, what would you want a client or a potential client in manufacturing to know about your business if they were to, potentially reach out to you?
Yeah, I'd like them to know that, of course, I am active in every part of it, from the client relationship as well as the screening, interviewing, and procurement of the talent. Having that, basically have the buck stop here, is you might not get a ton of clients doing that, because, but you can still scale with quality clients and ones that know, hey, I'm going to call you. Like I have one client calls me on the weekends, and he's the owner of a $100 million company, and he calls me on the weekend and say, hey, can you help me with this? So I make myself available. If this job is not an 8 to 5 by any means, as you have to talk to people after hours, and when they're free.
Yeah, definitely. Awesome. Well, Rick, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us on the Growth Experts podcast. And for those of you who are interested in checking out Rick's website, that is the talentsearchgroup.ai.
That's right. Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you so much, Derek, for taking your time out.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Hopefully, the audience will get some great insights and some background knowledge on what you do, and possibly help them out with some research into, how to procure new clients and handle business in the manufacturing space.
Yeah, if they want to reach out to me, they can usually connect with me on LinkedIn. So I'm on there. I'll get back to them.
Awesome. Yeah, definitely. Well, thank you for joining the Growth Expert podcast, and that's pretty much it for today.